somebody in the back with a baseball.
This is WHIO, and we're going to bring you a special program tonight. It's the Harrodsburg Mayoral Roundtable with your host, Earl Maltzer. And we go out to Mercer County High School for tonight's roundtable.
Today's listening on WHIR 1230 AM or 103.9 FM. Today's listening on the web at hometownlive.net and today's on Facebook. I'm Dr. Earl Maltzer, and I was asked to serve as moderator for this 2023 Roundtable of Candidates for Harrodsburg, Kentucky, sponsored by the Mercer County Republican Party, Hometown Radio, and the Harrodsburg Herald. Please stand if you can. And a state representative, King provides a short prayer, and the Mercer County Judge Executive Sarah Style leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Thank you, Dr. Maltzer. First Timothy 2:3 says, I urge you then, brethren, that petitions, prayers, intercession, and thanksgiving be made for all people, for kings and rulers in authority, and with peaceful and quiet lives, for happiness and holiness. This is good and pleases God our Savior. I think that's so important for today. Candidates have been to retrieve all of the information to Facebook. I'm Dr. Earl Maltzer.
Now if you will join me as we say the pledge. I pledge
follows, and were given to the candidates in advance. Candidates will sit in the order. If anyone still votes for her, please remember that those votes will not be counted. Up to 2 minutes to comment on answers given by other candidates to previous questions. Finally, the candidates will have up to 2 minutes each for closing statements. There will be no questions during the forum from either the candidates or the audience members. 7-2030 chair reviewed questions to be asked. All candidates will now have an opportunity to introduce that they chose to live here
their core values and where they stem from, what makes them uniquely qualified.
Thank you, Dr. Motzer. Thank all those who worked in this community. My conservative values mean that I'm not for higher taxes, precise government within the city of Harrodsburg. Many of you may know me from
to be more involved in marketing, strategy, and administration because I'm a little bossy, I guess. By the age of 30, I was a regional marketing manager, PT, practice, physical therapy, clinic, and consultation company. After we sold that, we moved here. Economics.
I had not really. I did a lot of contracting, a lot of legal things again, which would serve the city well. Also got involved in the community. I was president of the Chamber of Commerce for many years. You know, directors of our economy. So I got insight into our economy. So I think I'm uniquely qualified, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you all.
Thank you, Sam Carr.
I am Sienna Floyd, and the first question goes to Bob Williams. What is your 4-year goal
of the current financial status of the city? The 23-24 budget has some things that raise questions for me. I'm a retired financial advisor with Edward Jones, and so the financial background that I have kind of makes me wonder about some of the expenditures.
Thank you, Bob Williams.
In running, or we have a budget deficit, so we have to increase taxes. No one wants to do that. Increase taxes. No one wants to do that. Number 2, you can cut spending. And number 3, things we don't need, such as $100,000 for a race car, $84,000 for a truck. We also don't need to spend $100,000 on a piece of property that is creative. Bring 50 stops.
Well, that ties back into economic, and I appreciate working with the Physical Court, our industrial authority, Bluegrass Area Development, working on things like that. Less than a week after strategic planner for my days working at LG&K.
If you plan on growing, the only way that you can economic develop is to have the attitude that you want new growth, that you want new people, that you want to give up some of the power that you think that you have over the community in industries today, but progress and growth in an economic, fiscally responsible way. That's what needs to be fixed.
Police, fire, hospital, jail, and etc. If so, describe your involvement and any ideas you have.
I love this question. I will, of course, be involved. I'll continue to be involved. If you look at the three of us up here, I'd like you to look at what each of us has done just in the last 4 different organizations, everything from the 250th meetings, Mercer Transformation, and festivals and events. And I haven't done this to just get my name out there. I've done this because I want to have the knowledge of all our entities in our community so that I can be the best mayor possible. And I've expanded on that. I do.
Secondarily, we need an intranet internal to City Hall. An intranet is something that would improve communication, it would improve efficiency on our workflow processes. I'll guarantee you guys, City Hall is still doing things the way they did when my dad was mayor in 1992. The inefficiencies, there's a lot of low-hanging fruit. When we hired, we need to fix our technology, our website, our internet. A lot of people are still working virtually in the corporate world. It's because they have the technology. They can log in at home and do things. Now, obviously, you've got employees on the front line, police and fire. You've got people at the cemetery. You've got a lot of our city workers that can't work virtually. I realize that. But there's a lot we could do on our technology front.
Due to it being a compounded tax after the initial sales tax. Do you believe this tax is unconstitutional, and as mayor, double taxation, or eliminate it altogether?
That's a great question, Savannah. The 3% restaurant tax has been a bone in the side of a lot of which is the 6% sales tax, and then taxing
the 8th.
Our future. That's silly to say, but it's true. We have so many programs, youth having a safe home, having food security. Do we have issues there? What about our issues with, about the tourism tax? Because it's all open records. I easily went in and anytime they will meet with you. They brought in this summer over 50,000 people to attend all the events and activities that we had in our town. They, county and the Tourist Commission, what would happen if it was gone?
Thank you, Jennifer Casimir. The 9th question goes to Sam Carr. In a country where so many people...
But there's a lot of things.
And I can help whichever mayor it is. Advocate for the in Washington, D.C. I have been for 6 years. And Andy Barr and Brett Guthrie are friends of mine. So I feel like I could help any...
Thank you, Bob Williams. The 11th question goes to Jennifer. Do you support the effort to support solar energy fields in Harrodsburg, or is there an alternative that you would support?
This was spoken out again.
The pool, the fields, or the playgrounds, what would be your plan to make the park better for our community?
Elected, fiscal court, tourism doesn't have a seat at the table. We need to reformat that board. So I think, it's a huge asset for the community, and we need to fund it. That's why the city and
give them hopefully an addiction-free lifestyle where they can be productive members of the...
The 14th question goes to Jennifer Casimir. It is easy to make improvements with an open checkbook, but how do you plan on improving our town?
With every decision, it's been needed at this holistic approach, the circle that...
And save others. So how would you accomplish this?
That, the city budget is not static. Park in the nation, folks. It's real, and it will bring jobs. We're gonna have to suffer some financial short term for ultimately a generational long-term gain to move our community forward with a tremendous amount of job potential. So short term, I'm not gonna lie that we're gonna cut spending and the budget's gonna go down, because it's not. That's why, for me, having managed a budget of $30 million when I was at LG&E.
Concurrence of all ones for the candidates. 2 questions from each.
Uncommissioned officer in charge of weapons training for an 1,100-man security police group when I was out in Wyoming. It was with 1,100 people and making sure that you had them qualified on 5 different weapons, and set up the computer card, provided the training for all of those airmen. Again, in 5 ways, give myself an A.
As we are looking at large industries that will start from scratch, are creating, and I think there needs to be more education and awareness of it. I myself don't even have the education probably needed to answer this question very well. But I know we have looked at that at our own businesses. Small businesses as well as big need to look at this. And it's
sustainability of our agriculture in Harrodsburg. Well, again, my grandparents, I don't know, some of you might not know this, Harrodsburg had a stockyards at one. That was my grandfather. Following weekend, so we went back and forth. So I get it. I know Harrodsburg in Mercer County are mostly a rural community, but we also have a lot of industry. So we have to strike a balance. And the industrial park that we're getting ready to develop, at one time it was Wilkinson Farm in Commerce. And again, being president of the Chamber of Commerce, I saw the full spectrum.
By other candidates on previous questions.
Difficult to comment, but would like to offer additional information on, especially regarding the solar field. We tried, when I was on the Industrial Authority 20 years ago, to purchase the Wilkinson Farm to turn it into an industrial park. And it's 15 most attractive industrial sites in the nation. not just in Kentucky, but in the nation. There are some companies that would, and it's my understanding the PPL wants to put 10,000 acres of them in Mercer County, but I don't really believe it needs to be in some of the most prime industrial property in the country. That's really about all I have as far as comments on the other questions.
Now have a vacation, maybe starting at a younger age. I've looked at some national stats, and that's usually 4th grade, even 5th grade now. I don't know exactly what we're doing, so to develop a plan, I'd have to do some investigation. I'm really big on that. I had a commissioner, when we were having a discussion about mayor appointment, actually, he told me he didn't.
The questions here in front of me, and I'm going to try to go down the list that the other candidates answered and make some comments, if that's okay, Earl.
Certainly.
So 4 years stepping on a landmine every day trying to fix something. We need to get in the mode where we're planning. And I think the city and the county, I had a magistrate tell me this at a meeting the other night, the city and the county I think are working very well together. We need to continue to do that. The industrial park is real. We're meeting every week between the city, the county, the community to business. We lost our automobile dealership a few years ago. I went over and talked to someone that, are you involved with public entities? Yeah, I think the city and the county are working real well together. Intended by email a couple times a week. Those school zone lights didn't just stop working July 10th when I was sworn in. That's been a problem for a while. That's what we're doing for the youth. I don't want to get out in front of Donald Wayne yet. He's putting a plan. We're going to get an industrial park that's going to have up to 2,000 jobs potentially. So, I wish we could vote that we didn't want it here. And I think if you talk to the utility, they'd also tell you they'd rather not have solar panels. They'd rather build a coal-fired unit. A full-time.
Ladies and
Well, again, I thank you, Dr. Motzer and Savannah and Cadence for your questions. I want to thank WA coverage of this, working in Senate security, and have contacts with the senators who can help us to make things through guidance.
Historical significance and the feeling that you would have to live in a place where your father's father, their concerns, their needs, their positive and negative ideas. And I just decided that politics, and he kind of inspired me to do the same. I realized that I did not have still don't have it since Sam has become mayor. The meetings haven't been filmed, the agendas aren't posted, people don't know what's going on. I really want us to look at every citizen, every dollar, every decision, every day.
thank you, Jennifer Casimir. Sam Carr, please give your closing statement.
Again, thank you all there's also a few problems that I want to continue to fix because I think it brings the transparency. You can see meetings online, you can go look at ordinances, you can report a pothole, code enforcement. Our website and I talked to the current tract holder and after City Hall, we have issues internal to City Hall, but we also have issues internal to City Hall, but we also have external issues. The things that I want to work on making us more business friendly, economic development, our industrial park. I want to work on code enforcement, public safety. We have issues that were brought to a $30 million budget and managed a $20 million capital project. I'm an engineer, I'm analytical.
Thank you, Sam Carr. Ladies and gentlemen, now's the time. Please thank the candidates for sharing their views. You have been listening to the 2023 Roundtable of Candidates for Mayor of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. On Facebook,